What is up, YouTube? Today we are here with Nick. We're working on his Gr86. It looks a lot like mine because it's also a black GR. I've done little things to his car. We have coilovers, got some raised wheels, we got the Tom's flares like they were on my car. The car looks amazing. We even made a custom splitter for his car. And now we're gonna be adding something that I wanted to add to my car, but I didn't get the chance to, is a big carbon wing. But he's gonna be going with an Adro wing. So we're gonna be installing it and showing you guys what we did to install it in case you guys buy this wing too. Let's get started. So here we are in the trunk area trying to figure out how these carbon pieces mount. These are like little extra support plates that go underneath. And if you look at it, the design on this backside matches with this part. So it looks like we need to cut like a big rectangle out of it to fit these flush, so that this is touching the top sheet metal of the trunk. So let me show you guys the wing. It has this cool little hardware on the side that says Adro and what it means for, or what it stands for. And these like metal stands. And the carbon wing is like nice and sharp edged on the backside. Looks really cool. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that up and try our best to line this up to install this wing. So one of the things that was confusing me was how this goes mounted, but from pictures, notice that the wing stand goes on the inside and then the bolts kind of go on the outer side, so that way it looks like this. Aesthetically, I thought it would be better on this side, so that's how we had it installed the first time, but then the measurements are all off. So from hole to hole on the bottom of the wing, it's 30 inches and a half. So I went ahead and designed like a little template of the bottom of this carbon piece, mocked it up to the back side of the car. So you have this one that's left, and you can see it kind of takes the shape of the trunk, and I outlined it in a Sharpie so it's not super visible, but you can kind of see there where I marked the holes and like the little outline. Did the same thing to the other side, and then I marked from hole to hole. It's 30 inches and a half. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that out on both sides, and cut it out a little bit extra just so we have some wiggle room to make sure that we can kind of like shift these around to where they're perfect. And then we could probably just drill the holes through this, and that'll be the template for the proper holes up top. So we got these carbon pieces in. I cut the template, but I was a bit short because this part of the carbon actually comes up. So all I did was slit each side to be able to allow for this extra height that the pieces have. And now look at that. Everything is lining up where it should. It's got a little bit of play in it, which is what you want, just to make sure you can center them as perfect as possible. And then now we're just gonna go ahead and measure the holes to make sure that they're also 30 and a half inches. So that way when we go ahead and mount the wing, all the holes will line up and everything will be nice. So before we even drill, measure twice. All right, so after a little brainstorming, we went ahead and cut it more, made this a bit wider because this part is wider than the base. And that made it to where this carbon piece sits flush up top as well. So it's literally like in place. Like I can move it up and down and it just stays in place because it's taking the shape of the trunk on both sides. Looks good. So we went ahead and made the holes and got the bolts through, made sure everything lined up. I got the wing to line up with this back section just because I wanted it to sit a little bit further back, as further back as possible. So we ended up taking apart the wing just to make it easier to put these pieces on, since we wouldn't have to be holding up a whole wing trying to bolt it on at the same time on both sides. So this made it a lot more simple. So now after Nick here finishes putting all the interior trunk pieces together, then we can go ahead and mount the carbon wing and see how it ends up looking. So here's how it looks with everything on. It's got a little parent handle to close the trunk. Adds a little bit of an accent, but this sitting so flush just makes it look really good. See that on both ends. Ended up putting the wiring through here instead of through this hole just because it was a lot easier. But there's another option where you can put it in through that hole. Look at that. Looks good. It looks pretty underneath, and it'll look pretty over the top of the trunk as well. So let's get this wing on. So here it is installed. A bit more difficult. Better. So there we are, Nick. We got it done.
Hell yeah.
The wing's looking amazing. He's super excited. It just complements the car so well. He's got some raised transcends that are like in a gunmetal color, so like the gray kind of matches with the wheels, the blacks and everything. The car just looks perfect in my opinion. I'm a fan of neutral color cars, so having like a black and gray theme. Also, you know, like mine's like white and black. It just looks really cool. And he's got the full TRD kit on it as well that I installed a while back ago. So it's got the front and the side skirts. And now with the wing, it adds to more of that look. You can see something that it's going on there with the 86. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helped you on your install if you have one of these, or maybe motivated you to buy one of the Adro wings, just to, you know, seeing how good it looks. So as always, I hope you guys have a great day.